Hey everybody, Crypto Mentor 99, how you doing? I want to say backed by popular demand, the Crypto Mug Brothers, but investors, sorry, and they are brothers. We'll get to that in a minute.
How dare you?
How dare you?
Cancel this right now. This has gone too far.
But when I first saw these guys on the DGB on Twitter, I'm like, these guys are made for YouTube. They're made for TV. So I want to introduce everybody, Mike and James, Crypto Mug Investors.
What's good, guys? Crypto Mug Investors, back again, baby.
So we talked a little bit during the pre-interview, and I'm just going to tell everybody what I said. You guys both have great personalities. You're funny when you don't try to be funny, and you've got like a good chemistry because you're brothers, and we'll get into that in a minute. But I really, truly think that your personalities are made for YouTube within the cryptocurrency space. So I'm going to keep on following you guys and just encouraging you as you make more videos. People are just going to be drawn to you guys for sure.
Thanks a lot, man. That's really nice to hear, honestly. Thank you.
So anyhow, tell us a little bit about, well, first of all, let everybody know kind of like where you are in your family, because you are brothers, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So we've actually got a sister in between us. So he's like are you 3.5 years older than me? Yeah. Yeah. So I'm the baby of the family.
Okay,
so the wisest of the family. He probably is the wisest as well.
So there's James, and then there's your sister, and then there's Mike.
That's it.
Okay, and Mike, how old are you? And James, how old are you?
So I'm 26, and I'm 29.
Okay, all right. So
and he's getting on now. Yeah, I'm getting on. He's getting past it. I've got to make this crypto money faster.
Oh God, well that's the way I feel. I'm 60, and I'm like, I got to hurry up. I don't have a whole lot. I'm a whole lot of years. But let's talk about this. And again, you guys could each answer this individually. How did you guys get interested, and maybe it happened at the same time, but how did you get interested, not so much in DigiByte, we'll talk about that in a minute, but how did you get interested in the crypto space in general?
Sure. Well, I mean, the short story is, my cousin got involved. I tell you what, actually, the short story is FOMO. Yeah, FOMO. Simple FOMO, but I'll let him elaborate a little bit more. But the FOMO started when my cousin kept talking about cryptos. He's into cryptos. We weren't really bothered. And we heard he'd made $6 grand. You think, oh, good for you. We heard he'd made 20 grand. Good for you. 28 grand. Your ear starts pricking up. You think, wow, he's really smashing it now. And then about a week later, he's made $100,000. And we just started chucking money at him. Said, Matt, get us in. We don't care what. We don't care where. Just get us in. And of course, from that moment on, then we started getting educated. Then we fell in love with blockchain. We just have been nothing but obsessed for the last 8 months. It's really become our lives.
So this both happened. So it both happened to you guys, both James and Mike, at the same time, then, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, all through the help of our cousin Matt. So shout out to you, Matt. If you're watching, you're a legend.
So
you lost us a lot of money, Matt. I remember. But we're all losing in this bear market, so don't worry. It takes a long time to get your head around cryptocurrencies in general. I mean, there's still so much we can all continue to keep learning. But I mean, I remember I went around his house one day, and I asked him for some advice. I was like, right, I want to get in what's cryptocurrency. And then I'm just assuming maybe there's Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then all of a sudden, he's gone through so many things, and he starts talking about tokens and cryptocurrencies, and I sat there so confused. You know, I just thought, what the hell is this? Tokens? Is there passive income? All these crazy ideas. And it was just so fascinating. It just, if anything, it's probably a bad thing. It's consumed our life. We've lost our lives in blockchain and cryptocurrency because we've become obsessed. And that's why we created this YouTube channel. Because in the end, we just needed some way of getting out. We just needed to get stuff off of our chest, you know, because we would speak on the phone for hours every day, going over and over things that, you know, news that comes out, even little conspiracies, things like that. We just couldn't stop talking about it. So we thought, YouTube's perfect. Let's give it a go.
So now I know the answer to this, but the people that are watching don't, because we did like a pre-interview a couple of days ago, or we just kind of got to know each other. So I want everybody to know that Mike and James work together in their job. So if you're working side by side, do you guys talk about this like all day long?
All day. Yes. All day long. Yeah, relentless. And then we'll make a podcast after work. And then Mike will head back to his house, but then we'll be on the phone because new news has come out, and we'll just be chatting cryptos all night again. So it's relentless, honestly. It doesn't stop.
So
I want my life back.
So
we love it.
Yeah, I know. It's really addicting. So now that we know how you got interested in the crypto space as a whole, so what's up with you guys in DigiByte? Like, what's up with that?
Right. Well, if Mike doesn't mind, I'll explain. Yeah, so basically, as we said earlier, when we first got into the market, we had nothing but FOMO. We were interested, we were trying to learn, but we were spending money faster than we were learning. So we were just chucking it into any ICO that sounded great, any token that had a good white paper. And after months of doing that, and really just losing lots and lots of money, we realised it's time to really drill down into the fundamentals and work out what are we buying and why are we buying it. And the more research we did, everything just screams DigiByte, or as we call it, DigiByte. DigiByte is just our number one point. We absolutely love it to pieces. We just loved everything about it. The way it seemed to solve all the problems that Bitcoin and Litecoin are having. It just, again, without getting so heavily into it, it just was amazing. It just answered everything we wanted to have answered, you know? Because whenever I'd be thinking about Bitcoin and Litecoin, I still love them, by the way. I don't think DigiByte's going to kill them. I love those things, and I still own those things. But there was always question marks around Bitcoin and Litecoin with certain elements of them, and DigiByte just seemed to just answer those questions, and that's why we fell in love.
Well, you know what? James just said something important that a year ago that would have went right over my head, and I'll tell you, James, the interesting thing that you said that I hope if some people missed it, I want to go back 2 minutes. What James said is they meaning him and Mike, wanted to know what they were investing in and why they were investing. And I'm not going to talk for 10 minutes about it, but I, like you at the beginning, you know, this ICO, this, oh yeah, that sounds good. And then I kind of slowed down and I'm like, I don't even know why I'm really doing this. And then after talking to Mrs. Crypto Mentor 99, I'm like, you know what? You know, I got a little bit of money to like, you know, I could lose a little bit here, but I'm like, this is the future. You know, this is not going away. So again, James, what you said, I'm even after 2 years of, or 2.5, whatever, of being around, I'm still asking my questions of what am I investing in and why am I doing it? Because even though those are two really basic, simple questions, I'm on different Telegram channels, but we're talking about DigiByte now, so let's keep on that, where it just sounds like younger people like yourself, and I don't want to make fun of anybody, but they're talking about the price and this and that, and sometimes I jump in and I'm like, do you guys even know why you're invested in DigiByte, or do you know why it's so great? And if you can't answer those questions, I'm going on too long. If you can't answer those questions, don't invest in it. So I think you guys, not that you need me to encourage you, but you're asking the right questions.
But it took us a while to get there.
Yeah.
We're not slating anybody who's got FOMO, because we suffer with FOMO just the same as everybody else. But after a good few months, we've learned to try and rein back in. And when we're suffering FOMO, really look at the fundamentals and ask yourself, why am I buying this? Yeah, I think a good way of putting it is you need to be able to identify when you're feeling FOMO. When you feel that emotion getting hold of you, identify it, regroup and think, you know? We were talking about F Classic last night, and we nearly FOMO'd into that so hard last night, and we realised we were just investing on emotion. Yeah. And if we were to be serious and logical, there's probably a better buy point for this, and it may have a pullback, and we could be wrong, But we just decided,
Right.
you know what, we're getting too emotional right now. We're getting too excited. Let's sleep on it and let's have a chat in the morning. But yeah, I mean, we just identified that in us. You know, we're all guilty of it.
Yeah,
we're
I know I am.
Right?
Yeah.
I think everyone is. And if you say you're not, you're just lying to yourself. Because we all get that emotion. We all want to make money. I mean, come on, we all got to work every day of our lives to earn money. And the thought of there maybe being an easy path to making lots of money, we all want a piece of that.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, you've just got to ground yourself, be realistic.
No, that's good, Mike. Yeah.
And that's what we've gotten a million times better at doing.
Yeah. So let me back up because I think I interrupted James a little bit. So what was your interest, which you started to talk and then I think I jumped in too quick. Like, why DigiByte and what's, you know, the big interest in that for you guys?
Well, one main reason is the price. I mean, of course, all the fundamentals scream why we're interested in that. I mean, we can talk about DigiShield and how DigiShield has saved towards 20 coins. I mean, some of the main coins, we've got Dogecoin, Zcash, Bitcoin Gold, all rely on DigiShield, which is an absolutely amazing reason to be focusing on DigiByte. I mean, it's offering solutions to other blockchains, which is why I can see it having a real place in the future. But more than that, it's also very, very affordable. It's something that I can, on a monthly basis, someone who's not rich, I can afford to just keep stacking them DigiBytes. Yeah, I mean, it's incredibly undervalued for what it is.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't long ago, it was like around the number 50 area on CoinMarketCap. And for what it has to offer, it's ludicrous. It's incredibly undervalued. Seriously undervalued. I mean, there are ICOs, there are other cryptocurrencies that are valued way more than that, but have absolutely nowhere near the amount to offer the cryptocurrency space that DigiByte does.
That's awesome, yeah.
And I think more people are cottoning onto that. And that's why, like you're saying, it being cheap, that's the way I see it. This is the one positive I can see with the bear market. It grinds everybody down. It changes sentiment in the market. But it's important because I won't start slating coins, but there's some coins in the top 10 which really are a long way offering anything to the world. And it's a bear market like this that gets everybody sitting back, getting a bit more realistic and thinking, right, what am I buying? And when people do that, I'm sure that they're going to come to the same conclusion as us, that if you're holding something for the future, I'm not sure there's anything much better than DigiByte for the blockchain world. I'm really, really sure on that. I mean, the price is one thing, but if anything, that's the thing that like you're saying, it's cheap. We shouldn't even really focus on that because the technology itself within DigiByte is amazing. The speed alone and how there's no sacrifice in terms of decentralization by them having this insane speed. I mean, we talk a lot about the Lightning Network, and I think it frustrates some people who stumble across our channel when they hear our opinion on the Lightning Network. We don't hate it. We think it could be great. We think it could be an amazing way of getting cryptocurrency under the nose of the rest of the world. But long term, we think it sucks that it comes off-chain. You know, the Lightning Network is an off-chain scaling solution, and that bugged us. Whereas DigiByte's able to handle a huge amount of TPS and still stay on-chain. And more than that, it still works on the proof of work, which is what we like. Because there's some coins out there trying to be feeless. But we won't go into that debate now. But we were trying to find for ourselves what currency could be used worldwide and what could maintain security, maintain decentralization, you know. The mineable coins at the moment do seem to offer that. I mean, I know we've got proof of stake coming up. There's still a lot of people out there there's still a lot of debate going around about proof of stake. I'm really curious to see where that kind of goes in the future.
Interesting, yeah.
So again, we're getting into a whole other side of things there. But DigiByte, not only is it a mineable coin, but the fees are near enough non-existent.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as I know, we could do 100 transactions between each other, and you would pay you'd pay one cent. I mean, that's non-existent. That's not going to affect your life, but it keeps the proof of work, and it makes it worthwhile and keeps the security.
That's good. So we talked about this a little bit in the pre-interview. So, like when you guys are at work, right, or when you're with your family, and if you guys start talking about cryptocurrencies, like what is the cryptocurrency climate like at work with people knowing what it is, in your family with people knowing what it is, and when you're out with your friends? Like, does anybody well, I'm sure this is an exaggeration, but like how intense are people in the UK about cryptocurrencies?
Not many people even know about it, to be honest. It's still very much underground.
And a lot of people who do know about cryptocurrency, it's only because they want to make money in it. You know, the people I do know who are invested in it, it's only off of speculation. They don't really care about the technology behind it. You know, I've got a really good friend of mine who has some Bitcoin and some Ripple, and he's planning on just doubling them. If they ever doubled, he's out, he's done. I mean, he doesn't, when I asked him about what he thought of blockchain, he didn't really know what blockchain was. So he didn't care for that aspect of it. But if he could double his money, great. He's into it for that. And I think there's a lot of people like that. Probably more than there is people who actually get interested in blockchain technology.
Yeah, so Mike, you just said something interesting. So again, I don't know anything more than you guys know, right? We're all learning. We all want to be students of this. But when I go into some of these trading channels on Telegram, and again, I don't know the ages of these people, if they're women or men. You know, they're probably more men than women. But yeah, all they talk about is the price. And I'm like, I'd like to take my tokens and, well, I want to do this and pass them to my grandchildren. Like, I don't care. I mean, I guess I do care what the price is, but that's way down the road for me, you know?
Yeah, and for me as well.
And even I'm kind of biting my tongue is a slang word in the United States. I asked some people on another video, hey, if you've got any questions for the crypto mug investors, let me know. And 3 or 4 people said, ask them what they think the price of Digibyte's going to be. And I'm kind of like...
We don't know. This is what we have to tell people. We have no clue.
Right.
And you know what? Nobody has a clue. If
Right.
anybody tells you what the price of a coin's going to be, don't listen to them. Because they don't have a clue.
Yeah.
No one does.
And I'm not going to name names and start slamming people, but we listened to a few channels very early in the year that were absolutely full of pumping prices at us. And when you're new to a space, you're excited, you're suffering that FOMO we were talking about.
Yeah.
It's very easy to just want to be rich overnight and just start buying things because you've heard it can go to a price. So we've suffered that ourselves. And it's why we would never on our channel be pushing prices at people.
We might talk about like fun price predictions, but we
Right.
always make it really clear that it's just fun. And we always say as well that it's got just as much chance of failing as it does succeeding.
Yeah.
You know?
So
I think we all have to bear that in mind.
yeah. So I guess on my YouTube channel, I don't even know, 3,300 subscribers, 35. I don't even know. I don't really keep track that much. But when I do videos, it pops up on my thing. So I get the feel that maybe a third of the people are kind of like new, like basic, like they don't, like just some of the questions that they ask me, and there's nothing wrong with them. And maybe another third of the people on the channel are not beginners, but more medium, you know, and there's a few people that are, again, a lot smarter than I am. So what would you say to someone who's maybe watching us for the first time do this video, and what would you say to them, not so much about Digibyte, but we'll get to that. We'll end with that. But what would you say to them, Mike and James, about getting into the, like, what advice would you give someone if they said, what do I do? James, Mike, what do I do? What would you say?
My advice would be what I wish I'd sort of done at the beginning, which would be Google blockchain. When you've got your head around that, open ledger, start expanding slowly into what Ethereum offers as a smart contract platform. Start learning about different currencies on offer. Start learning about proof of work against proof of stake. I'm not saying anyone can become an expert overnight. It's a real minefield. There's a lot to get your head around. But definitely start researching before you put your money in. Because it hasn't actually gone that wrong. And luckily our cousin had already done his research and he actually put us into some great places. But we did, nonetheless, throw a load of money around without a clue. which I wouldn't recommend to anyone unless you've got my cousin. Then you've got to be a hunk.
Yeah,
sure.
and my advice would be understand what cryptocurrencies, what problem it was they were trying to solve.
Yeah.
Because the minute you understand that, you understand why there's value in it. Whereas if you purchase, let's say Litecoin, for example, like if you did it at the beginning of this year, then all year you're going to have seen the price of Litecoin plummet, and that's going to be an awful feeling. And you're going to lose heart, you're going to lose faith in it, and you're going to think, why did I buy that? Why on earth do I own Litecoin? Whereas if you understood technology and the problem it was trying to solve, then you would still have belief in it.
Yeah.
You would still want to keep your Litecoin or whatever cryptocurrency it is. Litecoin's just an example, but you're going to want to keep them because you understand what it's trying to do. So first and foremost, before you buy any cryptocurrency, understand what it's trying to do. And I wish I knew that. But nevertheless, I'm still really happy with where we're at.
Sure.
And that wasn't a dig at you, Matt. That's our cousin there.
So, yeah, my son who's like your guy's age, well, more James's age, I guess, a little older than James. He said to me, was it like Thanksgiving, like November, December, January-ish, I forget. And he said, hey, I've got this amount, to put in. And I'm like, again, at the time, I was in Digibyte, but I was doing a few videos. I had bought in Digibyte early on, just for a disclaimer. I bought it early on and then never did that many videos on it. I don't know why. But at the time, when my son said, hey, Crypto Mentor 99, what should I get into? He got into Litecoin at like $285. And he said something to me jokingly the other day, like, Dad, yeah, that's a great investment. I'm like, no, just wait. And I said, the next time you have some money, I'm going to tell you about another project, Digibyte. So, but anyhow, but yeah, that whole price thing, if you bought high, you hate cryptos. We're down, it's a learning experience, right?
Yeah, but taking Litecoin, for instance, we bought Litecoin at the peak. Full disclosure, we did. But because we started getting our heads around it and getting deep in the research, we loved it. And you know what? We bought it the whole way down.
Yeah.
The more it came down, the more value we saw in it, and the more we kept buying it. And yeah, it is a sad emotion to see your money disappearing. But this is why we say you've got to understand why. Because when you have a genuine belief in something, it's like the coins go on sale rather than disappear, because we're holding our coins very, very long term. We're not traders at all. We have no plan to try and get in and out of coins to make a fast buck. We're looking at our futures and trying to hedge ourselves in a different world outside of governments, outside of the banking sector. We want to make sure that if there's a huge financial collapse or if our mortgage rates go through the roof, we want to be hedged in this new economy because it's coming. There's no holding it back now. Who knows how long it's going to take, but it's coming. Well said, Jim.
Yeah, I could just tell by the way you guys are talking that you've done your homework. I could just tell some of the words you're using.
Well,
and
we are a pair of mugs, but we're trying. We just try to learn as much as we can every day.
We have definitely done our homework, but at the same time, there's still so much to learn. We are by no means experts. We probably get things wrong all the time. But I want to say the great thing with us is that we're always prepared to learn.
Oh, you big-headed scumbag.
He is big-headed, but we're really open-minded. We've always been really open-minded people.
Yeah, you've got to be happy to change your mind. When you're presented with new information and it goes against what you previously thought, change your mind.
You guys are smart.
Move forward and not look backwards.
No,
it's
you
okay
guys
to be wrong.
Okay, so let's end with this. I always end every video like this. So, and you could answer it any way you want, with Digibyte, without it, whatever. So, is there anything, and again, you guys could both answer this. So I end every interview like this. So, is there something that you wanted to talk about that you didn't, or is there something that's coming to mind where you're like, oh, I wanted to say one more thing about Digibyte, or whatever? I always give the person or the people I'm interviewing the last word of the interview. So is there anything that you just like to say about whatever before we end?
Yeah, we're done. No, I've got a little message. My message is stay strong in the bear market. Don't let it get to you. You know, listen, if you've heard this interview and you've made it all the way to the end, then the most important bit of this whole thing that we spoke about was understanding the technology. So if you're still struggling to get to grips with that, that's okay. But spend this whole weekend, all of the next weekend, and all of the weekend after that, researching blockchain, researching the cryptocurrency that you like. Find where its value is, and just work from there, and you'll feel a whole lot better about the cryptocurrency space. I guarantee you that, because I've been there.
Yeah.
You know, we're on the same journey, all of us. We're all learning.
Yeah,
Learning never stops.
No, that's good. So there you have it, everybody. Crypto Mug Investors, backed by popular demand. Guys, I will definitely have you back on very, very frequently. And again, my mother told me I've got a face for radio, but you guys, you guys have great personalities, and I could guarantee you, people love your shtick. You guys are super funny, and I really appreciated you guys taking the time to talk with me, for sure.
No, thanks for having us on the show.
All right, thanks so much.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.